Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Danielle Green, your guide in this transformation space where we are turning personality into power, challenges into clarity, and dreams into your everyday reality. Each week, we have learned and journeyed on this path of becoming. This is episode 9. Thank you for tuning in. We're uncovering the gifts that are already inside of you and how you can align your life more with purpose, pushing through blockages that might have stalled or delayed you, and working through those challenges to make everything working out for you instead of getting in your way. Thank you for stepping into the magic of your truest self. This week, we are talking about how to anchor in your enchantment. What does that look like? So we always talk about what does that look like. So this anchoring in your enchantment, there's different ways to do it. So it's whatever calls to you, whatever speaks to your soul. Sometimes that's dopamine dressing, wear what makes you smile, wear what makes you feel good, because when you feel good and you look good, then you exude a higher rate of confidence and it's a different energy about you. So I want to encourage you guys to follow what you like, what brings you joy, like every week, right? But this way, we're talking about how it connects to our ability to be magnetic, to be enchanting or charming, to be able to influence and call the energy that we are looking for into our lives purposefully, not haphazardly, but intentionally. So looking at different approaches for this can include ways you present yourself, ways you speak your truth authentically, ways that you feel about what you're wearing, where you're going, what you're doing. And I want to talk to you also about sometimes the burdens we carry. We've spoken about that before, but this is your gentle reminder that if it's not serving you, to put it down and that anything is possible. Okay, but there's only so much of us to go around. So when you're trying to create the life you want, when you're trying to walk in your purpose and align with your passions, there's only so much energy you have in the day. And when it does not serve you, you're giving away your energy to something that's just going to hold you back or delay you. We don't want that. We want dreams raining down from the sky coming to fruition, right? That's why we're here. That's why we're talking about this. Taking a look ways you can move authentically. And this doesn't mean the brutal truth. There's a lot about, well, I'm just honest. I think a lot of people put up honesty as a front to be brash or thoughtless or reckless with their words. And they think they can just write it off. Like, well, I was just honest. Or were you cold and calculating? Or were you cutting it to the quick when you could have delivered it more gently? So looking at ways you can still be authentic and not necessarily sugarcoat things, but deliver it in a way that's still kind or beneficial to whoever's receiving it. So this is during conflicts. This is during times where maybe you don't want to speak your truth. Maybe speaking your truth feels like a risk or feels like it could be reckless, or maybe somebody would not understand you. I would say that speaking your truth authentically is the only way to really know who should be in your life. And that goes in all manner of life. Friends, family, work, who you spend time with. If you can't speak openly from your heart and just share what's going on, even from a place of kindness, even if it's something tough that maybe you don't want to say, but you feel called or it like sits on your chest, see what news has been sitting on your chest. See how you feel in your body. And then I would encourage you to just speak it out, clear the air. Find your truth in those moments and still stand by it, because when we abandon our truth, we end up self-abandoning. And when you lack trust in your ability to do things, sometimes that's because we abandon ourselves too many times, and we really just need to say, you know what, this is what I think and this is what I feel, and sticking by what do you need to say. And sometimes there's moments for pause where quiet is more beneficial for us. Like there's a time and a place. I firmly believe there's a time and a place. So I'm not saying like shoot from the hip and say everything, like pop off on everybody, right? But I'm just saying when you feel like it's the time and the place, like something needs to be said, say it every time, even if it's hard. But if you feel a hesitation, like I kind of want to say this, but I don't think this is really the right time, then just wait and wait for the right time. If it feels more authentic and true to your message and what you need to say, do that. Okay? Because I think there are times and places, and sometimes what we need to say, the recipient of that message is not always going to be able to receive. So sometimes I feel like Spirit says, hey, wait, or say it tomorrow, or maybe say it tonight, but don't say it in this exact moment, because maybe the recipient of the message is not going to be able to hear you. And a lot of times when we feel something that sits on our chest, it's because we need to be heard and we need to feel heard. Sometimes it's making sure that whoever you need to direct the message to is able to receive it. And that can be kind of hard to navigate, but it doesn't mean skip it or don't do it. Speak your authentic truth. Okay, and new beginnings will happen from this. You're going to see so many new beginnings where more people either are going to be for or not for you. And the ones who are for you, they will be so refreshed by you speaking your truth. They will say, wow, that's so great to hear. I was thinking the same thing, or I had that same thought last week, and this really resonated with me. Thank you for being honest. This is just about sharing your heart, sharing your soul, because I feel like as humans, we're meant to have connections. That's why we're here. If we spend so much time people pleasing or putting our needs aside, we're damaging the relationships we have with ourselves, which is bad, because who are you going to live with every day of your life? It's only one person. That's you, right? That's you. So if you damage your relationship with yourself, that can be very hard to repair the trust and the bond between you and either your inner child versions or the inner versions of you that are still listening and watching and waiting for you to show up for them. And when you show up for them, that can be so powerful, because then you're rebuilding that bond. You're rebuilding that trust. And when all of you can be acting and moving in alignment, you have built energetic momentum and power that you are emitting, and it can be felt in rooms. When people know that you're in alignment with yourself and you're not this single entity who has discordant voices that are all disconnected, saying different things, and you change your mind a lot and you pick what you say, and you're always changing up what you say because you're not really in focused alignment, you're not really being intentional, that can be really felt by others. I just want to encourage you this week to channel your enchantment by being in alignment with yourself, your younger self, your teenage self, your older self, your ideal self, the one that you're growing into. And let's talk about growing into our future selves. When we're talking about living in this enchanted space, what does future you want? If you want to use ChatGPT has an exercise for this, or I'm sure other AI like Copilot, they have different scripts for this, but if you ask AI, you say, hey, these are all my goals I want to accomplish. What future does future me have in order to accomplish that? If I want to be a Nobel laureate, or you want to be a high power executive, or you want to be a business owner, or say you want to have whatever your goals are. Say you want to travel someplace new every 3 months. What does future you look like? Who's building that? And then AI can build you a future, like a day in the life, and then it can make you a plan of like day by day steps on how to get there based on what your goals are, who you see in your future. So if you want to grow your family or have a family or find your love of your life, what does that look like? Building those connections and working towards that space of fulfillment, of thriving, of happiness, of joy, where you're living your authentic truth. And it's fascinating what it'll come up with. So if you want to do that and share in the comments, I would love to see it. If you have done this and you liked it, let me know. I did this myself and it was very interesting. It was illuminating because I put in about the book, I put in about the podcast, I put in about maybe I'll be on talk shows or whatever. That would be really cool, talking about the book. What does that look like? Just for fun. Because sometimes the playfulness, the childlike enthusiasm and curiosity, when we can go through that curious process about using our imaginations, it can unlock those worlds. And I feel like culturally, so much of us just get it beaten out of us of like either through pain or suffering, or maybe literally hope and desireful intention, and just looking at what do you really want? It's shamed, and there's guilt and shame around like desiring a better future or better life or better process or better approach, or maybe meeting new people that you've never met before. that we kind of start to fear dreaming. But I want to encourage you guys to dream and unlock that reality for yourself. Whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you want to be a pro fisherman and you want to catch the biggest type of fish ever. Or say you just want to write the best poem that changes people's lives and makes them less afraid to be themselves. Or say you want to help bring people out of poverty or cure world hunger. What does that look like for you? And those are beautiful dreams and ideas, and they can definitely be a reality. So I believe if there's a will, there is a way, because you're not given a dream just for it to go raw on a shelf in your head. You're given dreams to action them because you're capable of achieving them, or for figuring it out, or putting together a group that could figure it out. So I just want to encourage you guys that when you step in your truth, when you step in your full intention and your power, and you're looking for your dreams and you're pursuing them and you're making plans and you're doing these beautiful, powerful things, it snowballs this momentum and this purpose that is surrounding you. And that type of magnetism, when you are chasing your passion, your purpose, your dreams, it's going to attract into your life other people who can contribute to your dream, who are going to see it and recognize it and value it. And they will be called to you. Like, as you are journeying forth on your path, these people will appear and they'll say, oh, you're working on this? I'm working on this. Like, maybe we can work together. And it's a beautiful collaboration where you're creating new community just because your energy is making your name known in rooms before you even get there. And that is a wonderful thing. So people are going to look, they're going to hear, they're going to see how you move. They're going to say, wow, this is so cool. And they're going to it's going to inspire them. And I think that's one of the beautiful ways we can connect with other humans, is when we can inspire each other, when we can speak our truth and hear it from others, and we say, oh, that resonates with me. Or, oh, I didn't think about it that way, but I feel inspired now. Maybe I could do something like that. Like, being able to help drive that creative momentum in others and support their beautiful dreams and create a space where this is nothing but like a beautiful garden where there's ideas, there's possibility, there's opportunity, and all of these doors are just opening for a brighter future to come through. That is the enchanted life. When every time you take a step, you are opening doors, you're creating opportunity, because maybe you are wealth, maybe you are love, maybe you are kindness, and you are shifting the fabric of reality every day. And that is amazing. That's an incredible type of future that I want to be living in. So, my friends, you have joined me on this journey of becoming, and I expect we will take future journeys together. If you have felt this in your heart, if you have ideas for your next journey or other journeys or deeper dives into topics that interest you, let me know in the comments, please. And we'll see what next journey we take together. I hope you're along for the ride. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been such a magical experience to share this journey of becoming. And remember, it isn't just one journey. This can sometimes be a cycle, because you're journeying level 1, journeying level 2, etc., 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 right? The sky, the stars, the constellations are the limit, truly. So thank you for wandering through the magic with me today, guys, on the Alchemy Fairy Show. I appreciate you. If something stirred your soul or sparked a new thought, please share, like, comment with friends who need a little bit of that light. You're more powerful than you know, and your magic is real. Never forget that. Until next time, stay aligned, stay enchanted, and keep living in your alchemy. Goodbye.